Mom, will you come pick me up? Phyrexia is invading 36 planes simultaneously. That's right, it's March of the Machines, though it's being released in April and not March, but never mind that, because it's a doozy of a set spanning dozens of planes and featuring unlikely superstar team-ups such as Brawl, Karizev, and Ragavan. That looks like King Kong and one of the Godzillas. Soldier Lady, then the Frog. Tree Guy, and the Frog. And of course, everyone's favorite, Dog Godmom and the guy you totally forgot about. I mean, I did an entire deck tech about how cool of a commander he is. How's that video doing, by the way? Oh no. Now my favorite of these team-ups is Galta and Mavrin, a big giant dinosaur and a vampire who's also there. I can't help but wonder how much Mavrin is actually bringing to the table in that team-up. I mean, really, if you were getting charged down by a massive dinosaur, would it really matter to you if the dinosaur also happened to have a vampire hanging off of its back? But I'm getting off track. The most important team up of this set, like with most sets, is the teaming up of your money with your local game store that's selling Magic the Gathering cards and packs. If you're looking to draft, this is a fantastic draft experience, but if you're looking for cards for Commander, chances are that the best way to get a hold of those cards is not to just buy a whole bunch of booster packs and rip them open and hope you get what you want, but instead spend your money on the cards you need to build the decks that you want to play. But which cards are best for Commander from this newest set? Well, presented here are my top picks, not for the best new Commanders, that's coming, please stay tuned, but rather for the best new cards for the 99. Cards that are going to be great in myriad Commander decks. We're going over them here. Any legendaries we mention are not being mentioned as a Commander, but rather as a part of that 99. So be sure not to buy Mom, but rather just buy the singles you want to have fun playing along with. But first, does this ever happen to you? You have a big competition in the morning, but you're having trouble getting enough rest because you can't stop thinking about ways to optimize your standard deck. No? What about your modern deck then, or Pioneer, a format that people actually play? Well, if you did play standard and there was a big competition at the GP, which also, if that still existed, then and you were like stressing and having trouble sleeping, then you might be helped by our sponsor, Helix Sleep. Helix Sleep makes premium mattresses and bedding that are customized to fit your needs and conveniently are shipped right to your door. To get a Helix mattress, all you need to do is go online and take their sleep quiz to find out which mattress is best for you, whether you sleep alone or with someone else. They have something for everyone's unique taste. With that simple sleep quiz, you'll be on your way. You know, I'm a back sleeper and my wife is a stomach sleeper, and based on our results, Helix matched us with their Dusk Luxe mattress, and we both love it. Like, seriously, we've had the mattress for a year now, and I'm still absolutely just, every time I go to bed, I'm so happy. And I talk about with my wife how comfortable this mattress is. That's not even on the script. It's really comfy. And I can't tell you how much trouble we had finding a mattress that didn't hurt our back and keep us awake. We're so happy now to have Helix. I know this is a sponsorship again, but I really do sleep on this mattress every night. Have been for a very long time, and I still love it. And we always comment on that, and that's that. Yeah, we do. So maybe it'll help you out too. But you don't have to take my word for it. With your Helix Sleep mattress, you get a 100-night sleep trial along with a 10-year warranty, and there are financing options and flexible payment plans. And one of the best parts about all of this is that Helix delivers your mattress right to your door for free within the US. It comes rolled up in a box, and it's super easy to set up yourself. I love my Helix, and I think you would too. If you're looking for a new bed, check out Helix. You can click the link below or go to helixsleep.com/Stellarian to get 20% off your Helix mattress plus 2 free pillows. Thanks once again to Helix for sponsoring this video. So first up, I have an honorable mention, or rather 3 of them. It wouldn't be much of a battle without battle cards. And there are 3 in particular that I feel Commander players are going to want to consider adding to their decks. Those are the Invasion of Ikoria, the Invasion of Tolvada, and the Invasion of Fiora. Each of these battles has a strong enter the battlefield effect. Ikoria is a 6 defense, X and double G tutor reminiscent of finale of devastation, finding you a non-human creature with mana value X or less from your library or graveyard and putting it into play. Tolvada is a 5 defense battle that returns a non-battle permanent to the battlefield from your graveyard for 3 generic and 1 of each white and black mana. And Fiora is a 4 defense, 6 mana wrath for either legendary or non-legendary creatures. The backsides for each of these cards are good too. Ikoria's flip side is an 8/8 reach dinosaur that allows your non-human creatures to assign combat damage as if they aren't blocked. Tolvada becomes an enchantment that buffs your creature tokens for +1/+0 and grants them lifelink. It also gives you a 1/1 flying spirit token each end step. Fiora perhaps has the most interesting flip side, transforming into a new Queen Marchesa, this time called Marchesa Resolute Monarch. Marchesa is a 3/6 with Menace and Death Touch. When she attacks, remove all counters from up to 1 target permanent, also known as Kill Target Planeswalker or Flip Target Battle. She also grants you Pseudo-Monarchy, and this Pseudo-Monarchy is a monarchy that opponents can't steal from you. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you haven't been dealt combat damage in the last turn cycle, draw a card. Now, while I believe the battle card type will be at its absolute best in the Commander format, sorry Modern and Pioneer, I don't think it's taking over there. But out of all the battles and all the marches of all the machine, I believe these 3 in particular are some of the strongest and deserved being highlighted here in our first slot of 3. Why are battles going to be so relevant in Commander? Well, you see, Commander is less about combat than 1v1 formats typically, and thus many decks are built to win without needing the combat phase. This de-emphasis on combat means odds are someone at any given Commander table will have a board that's poorly equipped to defend their opponent's battles. Assign the defense of your siege to that player, and you should have no trouble flipping your battle within a turn cycle or 2. Alternatively, you can use battles to slow down an opponent who has a scary board of attackers. If you give them a battle to defend, they'll be more incentivized to keep blockers back to defend it, meaning their attacking forces will be diminished to some extent. Battles are also the perfect battleground for another mainstay of the Commander format that doesn't happen in 1v1. Politicking. It's easy to imagine a scenario where one of your opponents offers to help you flip your battle in exchange for you scratching their back in some way down the road. All in all, this feels like a card type that absolutely thrives within the framework of a Commander game. I highly recommend keeping an eye on all future battles printed, as any card in this design space within your deck's colors has the potential to be a great fit for your Commander deck. Next up on our list, it's another tie. That's right, the 2 cards in this slot are Wrenn and Realmbreaker. Oh no, wait, that's just 1 card. Well, Wrenn and Realmbreaker are RA. I was an English major. And they are a 3 mana green planeswalker with 4 starting loyalty. Her +1 ability reads, up to 1 target land becomes a 3/3 creature with vigilance, hexproof, and haste until your next turn. It's still a land. Her -2 ability says, mill 3 cards. Then you may put a permanent card from among them into your hand. Lastly, her ultimate says -7, you get an emblem with, you may play lands and cast permanents from your graveyard. But wait, there's more! Wrenn and Realmbreaker also has a static ability, oh god, didn't we learn our lesson? That allows lands you control to tap for any color of mana. It's not often that we see a planeswalker that's good in Commander, but one of the ways to make them good in this format is to give them a strong static ability. Wrenn and Realmbreaker has exactly that. Wrenn's static ability is strong mana fixing for decks with 3 or more colors. Though if that's the only use you're getting out of the planeswalker, you're probably better off just running Chromatic Lantern. Where Wrenn will really shine is in any deck that can ultimate her quickly, as her ultimate provides a game-ending advantage. The best example of this is Atraxa Praetor's Voice, as it is a 4-color deck built around proliferating. But Atraxa isn't the only general who will want Wrenn and Realmbreaker. The Counter Blessings deck, headlined by Azuri, Stalker of Spheres, that I profiled in my first Build Your Own Precon video, would love adding this new Wrenn to its ranks. Karth, the Lion from Modern Horizons 2 is another example, as he lets you ultimate Wrenn the turn after you cast her. Wrenn may also see play as a utility permanent in decks that like planeswalkers, such as Muldrotha or the 5-color Asika Prismatic Bridge deck. The key will be finding ways to abuse the fact that Wrenn is a planeswalker on top of a mana fixer. Keep in mind that its -2 ability is not a regrowth effect, it's more like Anticipate, since it can only return a permanent from among the 3 you just milled to your hand. Still, in a deck with enough permanents to hit, this is a very powerful card advantage mode, and if you tick her up on the turn she comes down, she'll sit at a very sturdy 5 loyalty for her first turn cycle. 5 loyalty for 3 mana is a lot, so your opponents likely won't be able to remove her from the board anytime soon. Wrenn and Realmbreaker is very powerful, if a bit narrow of a card. She won't have a home in every multicolored green deck, but the decks that do want her will really want her. Next up on my list is my pick for the strongest battle in all Commander currently, though not the strongest new card for Commander from March of the Machine. But we'll get to that in a moment. For the time being, let's talk the Invasion of Arcavios. The Invasion of Arcavios is a 5-mana blue battle with 7 defense that searches your library, graveyard, or outside the game, if your playgroup allows for a wish board, which it probably doesn't, but you know, maybe they do, for an instant or sorcery card when it enters the battlefield. Deals 7 damage to Invasion of Arcavios, and it transforms into an enchantment called Invocation of the Founders. With Invocation in play, you may copy any instant or sorcery you cast from your hand with no once per turn restriction. Now, Jesse Robkin, who wrote this script, always tried to put in all these Star Wars references, and I told her to knock it off because I've never seen a Star Wars. She probably doesn't know that the Founders were the villains in Deep Space Nine, Odo's people that he discovered in the Season 3 episode, The Search, Part 1. They were in charge of the Dominion and went to war with the Federation using the Vorta and the Jem'Hadar. Okay, well, we should get back to the video. Also, the Founders are apparently back in Star Trek Picard Season 3, though it might not be the Founders, it might just be the Changelings. You see, Changeling is actually the race of the Founders. The Founders is more... Okay, we'll get back to the video. This battle stands out to me for Commander because both the front side and the back side are impactful. Indeed, the back side in particular is bonkers good. Copying all your spells is a huge deal. As the card and mana advantage this effect provides is through the roof. The front half can even tutor for a damage-dealing instant or sorcery that can help flip Invasion of Arcavios to its back side. The best card for this purpose is Chain Lightning, a sorcery speed lightning bolt variant that interacts a bit strangely with battles. Chain Lightning costs 1 red mana, just like Lightning Bolt, and deals 3 damage to any target, also just like Lightning Bolt. But where Chain Lightning differs, though, is its second line of text. A player either dealt damage by Chain Lightning or who controls a permanent dealt damage by Chain Lightning can choose to pay 2 red mana to copy the spell. They may choose new targets for the spell, though they don't have to. The thing about battles is they are permanents you want to deal damage to, but despite an opponent defending them, they are still a permanent you control. That means that if you deal 3 damage to Invasion of Arcavios with Chain Lightning, you may then choose to pay 2 red mana to do it again. So for 3 red mana, Chain Lightning represents 6 damage to any battle you control. Pay 2 more red mana to finish off Invasion of Arcavios, or simply attack it for 1 to reduce its defense to 0. What's more, because Invasion of Arcavios also searches a graveyard for the instant or sorcery you add to your hand, you can freely cast Chain Lightning as a removal spell earlier in the game if you happen to draw it naturally, and then still find it off of Arcavios. Invasion of Arcavios and Chain Lightning will be best friends in any Izzet-based Spells Matter deck, but Invasion is strong enough that it should even see play in Spells Matter decks that don't play red. Tutor up a cryptic command to tap down your opponent's team so you can attack Arcavios freely, or tutor up a card like Slip Through Space to give a 7-power creature unblockable. There are any number of ways to force through the flipping of Invasion of Arcavios that the battle can tutor up for you. And once you have the backside active, every single spell you cast from your hand will be supercharged. Next up on our list is yet another big black flying creature with a tutor attached, and it's Hoarding Broodlord, a black 8-mana 7/6 flying dragon with Convoke. When it enters the battlefield, exile a card of your choice from your deck. You may play that card for as long as it remains in exile. Hoarding Broodlord also gives all spells you cast from exile Convoke. Convoke is a fantastic keyword in Commander, a format where, as I mentioned earlier, combat is less important, and therefore turning your creatures into mana dorks is some of the best use you can get out of them. Any black deck that consistently casts spells from exile will want this card, as will any black deck with sufficient Convoke fodder. Prosper the Tomebound, Florian, Voldaren Scion, Gaunty, Lord of Luxury, Hogak, Arisen Necropolis, Toxrill, the Corrosive, the list goes on and on. And of course, on top of tutoring up any card from your deck and granting cards in your exile zone Convoke, Hoarding Broodlord is just a big 7/6 flyer. An evasive 7-power creature. I wonder if there's anything in Commander that you'd want to deal 7 damage to. Yeah. So what are my top 2 picks for cards for Commander for the 99 from March of the Machine? Well, coming in second on the list is an absolutely killer board wipe, Sunfall. Sunfall is a white sorcery for 5 mana that reads, exile all creatures. Incubate X, where X is the number of creatures exiled this way. This card is actually very similar to Phyrexian Rebirth, though it's 1 mana cheaper and the creatures it removes are exiled instead of destroyed. Why Sunfall will be good in Commander is pretty straightforward. It's actually the cheapest exile all creatures effect we've ever seen, and the fact that it leaves you with a massive Phyrexian Time Bomb waiting to be activated for the cost of just 2 mana at instant speed is really just icing on the cake, though token decks and decks that move +1/+1 counters around may particularly appreciate this icing. Whether this card is better than something like Farewell or Wrath of God is up for debate, but exiling is certainly a significant upgrade over destroying, and paying 1 less mana is a big deal, especially in a color that doesn't have access to great ramp effects. Now, in an ordinary standard expansion set, Sunfall might have been the #1 best card, but this set is far from ordinary, and there's one more card from March of the Machine that blows Sunfall out of the water and into the fire. So what is that #1 pick? Well, you guessed it, it's City on Fire, a massive, game-ending red enchantment with Convoke. City on Fire reads, if a source you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals triple that damage instead. These deal more damage instead effects are extremely strong in Commander due to the high life totals and multiple opponents that ask your spells to be extra impactful as compared to 1v1 formats. As such, cards like City on Fire are highly sought after, often demanding a high price tag. Fiery Emancipation is the strongest example of this, a $24 card with the exact text of City on Fire minus Convoke. Fiery Emancipation is 2 mana cheaper, but the added mana value of City on Fire is mitigated by its Convoke ability. With any token generator like Young Pyromancer or Ovika Enigma Goliath, convoking out City on Fire will be trivially easy to do. And once it's in play, those same creatures that helped convoke, the enchantment will be even more powerful the next time they get to jump into combat. I expect City on Fire to become an instant staple among red decks that care about combat or have a density of damage-based spells. Redundancy for Fiery Emancipation would be exciting enough on its own, but the fact that it can cost less than Emancipation to cast if you have sufficient creatures to convoke with really drives this point home. This card is nothing short of awesome. In a set full of great new cards for Commander, City on Fire is the best of the best. But what do you think? Are the Founders really the villains of Season 3 Picard? Or is Worf going to try and contact Odo in the Great Link? I mean, what are your favorite cards from March of the Machine for the Commander format? In a set this powerful, I surely missed some that you're excited to talk about. Let me know in the comments below. And hey, remember, if you're looking for a better night's sleep, you should check out sponsor of this video, Helix, and their amazing mattresses that are delivered right to your door with free delivery within the US. I love my Helix, and I think you would too. If you're looking for a new bed, check out Helix. You can click the link below or go to helixsleep.com/Tolarian to get 20% off of your Helix mattress plus 2 free pillows. Thanks again, Helix, for sponsoring the video, but I have one of their mattresses, and thank you. for that good night's sleep. Really, it is. Yeah.
Next time on Shuffle Up and Play.
Today, we are playing with $50 budget decks. It's Budget Commander with Budget Commander.
Hi, my name is Tomer from MTG Goldfish. My commander is Min, Wily Illusionist.
Yeah, hi, I'm Joey. I am playing my baby lasagna.
My name is Alec, and today I'm playing Satoru Umezawa.
My commander is Helena and Elena. So these are what Canadians call biscuits.
No, these are what Canadians call bribes.
Excuse me.
All right, that needs to die just so that reference can die.
I didn't want you to draw 14 cards. That's a lot of cards.
But Joey,
Just to send a message, attack you with my Ornithopter.
no way. What?
For 0.
I'm a method actor. I'm like Christian Tesseract. Bale.